Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your man, All the Way, George Page, coming to you live on YouTube. As you know, today is Veterans Day. It's one of the holidays that we, remember and celebrate our military veterans from everything from the Army, Air Force, Marines, Navy, and also the Coast Guard, which is the little brother of the Navy. And these people who have, you know, tributed their lives to defend our country should be always be appreciated, not just for one day, but every day. And as I said before, I have two members of my family, close to me that's in the military. I have a niece and a nephew, and I also have other members of family I remember that have been in the Corps. But my niece, she just got discharged from the Army just about a few months ago, and my nephew's still in. But anyway, our history with the military has gone back for many years, and some of what of it's not always good history, as you know. There's been a lot of prejudice and racism, especially towards military people. And but you know what? We have gotten strides, and for us Black Americans, I'm not gonna say Afro Americans, we're Black Americans. We have really, committed ourselves to this country and fought for the love of this country. But anyway, I'm gonna give you a short some history of it. Now, um, I think back to remember that I think everything started with by a black man named Christmas Attucks, and he was I think he was a worker during before the Revolutionary War, and then he was he was shot and killed. He was the first victim of police violence when the British shot him. He was minding his own business. He just got caught in the middle. But really, modern American military didn't really start for black people until in 1863 when black soldiers were allowed to fight during the Civil War. Now, and one of those great historians from that era was William H. Carney. He was the first black soldier to earn the Medal of Honor, and it was 40 years after the Civil War. Now, after the Civil War, a unit called the Buffalo Soldiers, who fought during the Cheyenne Wars, was created. The Cheyennes called the black soldiers Wild Buffalo because the way they fought. When the Buffalo Soldiers weren't fighting Native Americans, they helped build, um, uh, you know, they helped build railroads, telegraphs, lines. They guard the mail routes and the trains carrying supplies to the west. Now, the black soldiers fought in World War One, but because of racial segregated because of the military policy, there was even a black man who enlisted with, many black men had enlisted with, Canadian Army during World War One because it was hard for them, the ideology that, a lot of people think that black people can fight in wars or it's just some crap they see because we were different. They still thought we were not even completely human. But there was in World War II a regiment, and on December 19th, an all-black unit from Harlem, New York, were shipped to Europe to fight in the war. And the unit was the 369th Infantry, but the Germans called them the Hellfighters. Now, during the time in the war, no Hellfighter was ever captured. That's why they got the name. Now, the Harlem Hellfighters got a lot of respect from the French government, but sad is how when they came back home, this country, they didn't get the same respect as they should have. So, and there often was there's a time when around about after World War One, many black soldiers came home were attacked. They were killed by racists, and some had to even take off their uniforms so they wouldn't be victims of attacks. Now, during World War II, there was the first black U.S. Army Air Corps being trained in Tuskegee, Alabama, and that was the Tuskegee Airmen. Sorry, if that's if my southern accent, and my tongue's kind of but anyway, they were the most successful flying unit in the army, and they were often escort bombers during the war, and they never lost a bomber, and that was amazing. And then they were there was a debate that some people felt that blacks didn't be pilots during World War II, but quite often they were requested by white pilots, bombardiers, because of the success rate. And and that's amazing. Even and here's a sad story about that. There was been many same thing happened. Many black soldiers did come home. They didn't get the GI Bill like they should have. For like many white soldiers, some were still attacked. Especially when we come to the South. And then even I remember I was watching this movie where black soldiers came home, and they had some German prisoners that got off the same train as they did, but the blacks had to eat outside in the back while the German prisoners ate inside the restaurant. That's just that's just so sad. You come fight for your country and still don't get respect. Now, a few years later, it's Vietnam. Now, Vietnam was the war where they had the most blacks ever, to be drafted. You know, it was just because at the time I think there was many thought that blacks should fight just as much as anybody, and we all know famously Muhammad Ali, he denounced going into Vietnam. As you know, he made that same statement, "No Viet Cong, call me boy." But this happened greatly during around the let's say the start of the civil rights movement, and it's still it was still was a time for black people. you know but over the years, black people now have gained more strides into the U.S. military, and just 200 years, but we still have a long way to go. And we have not just grown from just being drivers for officers or working in the kitchen. We are fighting, we're commanding, we're generals, admirals. It's just it's just amazing. But still, the black man still is has a struggle to be accepted, especially in the United States military, and how much we fought for his country, and how much we love this country. Like that quote from Rambo. I want my country to love me as much as I love it. You know, Remember in Rambo 2 at the when he was talking to Colonel Troutman and said, "Hate my country, I love my country." And that's what we do. We love this country, even though this country has not shown us love. We love this country. And like I said, this is why this video is to remember those veterans who sacrificed their lives, who were victims of racism, who climbed, climbed a heavy ladder. It was with so many obstacles against them. From everything from from the Civil War and the Spanish Wars, the World War II, World War One, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf Wars. We're still here, and we love this country as much as it should love us. So I want to wish Happy Veterans Day to all those who have sacrificed their lives, who sacrificed their bodies, and who are committed to the protection of this country and its freedoms. You know, like I said, like I said, you have to respect the fact is, you know, how what anybody would take this, go into a situation, into occupation where they know they might be risking lives for love for a country. This is your man, All the Rage George Page. Like, don't subscribe. I'm out.